everybody, it's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, with the recent news that Lonzo Ball will not be participating in training camp and will most likely miss the start of the season for the Chicago Bulls, we turn our attention to the point guard position and we discuss the potential minutes going around with the Chicago Bulls in relation to that point guard position and who will potentially be starting and potentially be ending these games for the Chicago Bulls, considering everybody else is healthy. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about what you think the Chicago Bulls will do in relation to the rotation of the team in that guard position. Do you think we instantly go for Goran Dragic as the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls? Do you think we go with someone that's already been here before in Alex Caruso, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu? Do you think we maybe even go away from the point guard position and try to add as much defense as possible? Maybe put a guy like Javonte in there and maybe let Zach and DeMar run a little bit of that point guard position like they've done for the majority of last season as well. Very interesting topic of discussion, and we will get started on it in my opinion. First things first, I don't think we're going to go for a guy that's not necessarily a point guard. That could be seen as an option. So a guy like a Javonte Green or a Derrick Jones Jr., someone like that could bring a little bit more versatility on the defensive end. I don't see that being the main option for the Chicago Bulls. That's definitely something we'll probably see off of the bench. Maybe we can run multi-guard systems like we did last season as well. But most importantly for that starting position, that point guard position, that position that's currently empty at the moment, I don't see guys like that coming in and using Zach and DeMar as the main point guards. Now, I'm not saying that they won't have point guard responsibilities, Zach and DeMar. Of course they will. They will get the ball in their hands. They will be able to make plays for the Chicago Bulls. That's what we did last year. I'm expecting very similar things this year. So that's definitely going to be a responsibility for those guys, even with Lonzo Ball out. But I don't see them being the main guys, for example. I see them having responsibilities just as much as the guy coming in will also have responsibilities. So we'll get rid of that one out of the way. Guys like Javonte, guys like Derrick Jones Jr., I do not see getting positional minutes in the starting lineup for the Chicago Bulls at the beginning of the season. So you're looking at a guard for the most part. We'll take a look at each and every guard and we'll discuss whether or not they have a right to really be in that point guard position at the start of the season. Well, it will obviously come down to training camp and preseason as well, how people do. We'll start off with Kobe White. Now, ultimately, Kobe White is someone that has been put in the starting lineup quite a few times when there has been injuries, just to add a little bit more scoring, or whether it's just because we need to fill a hole in the starting lineup. We had so many injuries or so many people out for protocols. Kobe White did start his fair share of games for the Chicago Bulls last season. However, considering Zach LaVine is going to be healthy at the start of the year most likely, considering that we will also have DeMar DeRozan and Nikola Vucevic and Patrick Williams in the starting lineup as well, I don't necessarily think Kobe White is the type of player that we would need to put in the starting lineup. Kobe White brings scoring. He brings the ability to use the pick and roll. He brings the ability to be able to be a microwave type player, someone that gets really hot, someone that is relatively inconsistent as well. He brings a lot of offense to the Chicago Bulls starting lineup. There's no question about that. But is that really what we need with three potential all-stars in the team that could get anywhere between 24, 25 to Vucevic's maybe 20 points per game as well? I don't think Kobe White needs to be forced into that starting lineup. I think he'll be much more impactful off of the bench, hopefully being a relatively good scorer for the Chicago Bulls. I think that's what his objective should be next season, and I have full faith that he can really achieve that. But time will tell. It will be up to Kobe White, but I don't see him being the main point guard for the Chicago Bulls to enter the starting lineup. Goran Dragic, the new point guard for the Chicago Bulls, let's say. Someone that was recently, or not too recently, a little bit whiles back, he was talking about getting guaranteed minutes for the Chicago Bulls and how he wanted guaranteed playing time in order to pick us over the Dallas Mavericks. And it looks like we gave him that. So, potential 25-minute per game player for Goran Dragic. Does that really need to be in the starting lineup? No, it does not. There are a lot of bench guys that could get around 25 minutes per game, and Goran Dragic could be one of those guys. I can very much see Goran Dragic being a point guard in the starting lineup. I see him being one of the candidates for that position because Goran Dragic brings veteran leadership. He brings a really calm composure in hand. And I do feel like guys like Zach and DeMar will trust the ball in Goran Dragic's hands over themselves from time to time. So you will see a lot more responsibility on the ball with Goran Dragic. And he could be a very good off-the-ball player as well for guys like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan to pass out to a corner shooter, pass out to a catch-and-shoot opportunity. Goran Dragic can fulfill that as well. So he's a very versatile option offensively. However, he does not bring the defensive awareness, in my opinion, at his age to really be a guy that can shine for the Chicago Bulls at the starting point guard position. He brings good playmaking, he brings great offense, he brings calmness, he brings veteran leadership and everything like that. He's an experienced player. So all these things are good qualities, and all these things could very much see Goran Dragic as the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls if Lonzo Ball is not healthy. But I do think we do lose a little bit of that defensive awareness, and you need a defensive point guard to really start in these types of games if you're looking at Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan in the starting lineup. Just to balance things out, you're going to need someone that's going to be able to play really strong defense. I think Goran Dragic is an okay defender, but I don't think at his day and age he's going to be an elite defender that we may need. Which leads to the next guy, Alex Caruso, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Caruso is going to be a very trusted player for the Chicago Bulls. He's going to have big responsibility. He's going to be able to get a lot of minutes for this team. He's going to play multiple positions for this team. He's going to be a point guard. He's going to be a shooting guard. He's probably going to be a small forward as well. And he can do it all on the defensive end. A defensive leader in every sense of the word, Alex Caruso will most likely be another candidate that you could see starting for the Chicago Bulls. But looking at last season for the Chicago Bulls, Alex Caruso still did not start those games. However, majority of the time he finished those games. So I do see a possibility where Alex Caruso may not start for the Chicago Bulls. Bring a different guy to come in, which we'll talk about next, and he can finish the games. And that's exactly what I see happening. That's what we really went down to last season, when even when Lonzo Ball was healthy, you saw Alex Caruso finish those games. I see the same thing coming into play for the Chicago Bulls next season. We need Alex Caruso. There's no doubt about it. He's a leader. He's a defensive monster. He's one of the best players in terms of steals last season as well. He did everything for us. He's a hustle guy. There's absolutely no doubt we will see Alex Caruso be playing, and I think he will finish these games. Which leads me to the guy that I personally think will be starting for the Chicago Bulls, and something I think we should be seeing is Ayo Dosunmu. Now, is Ayo Dosunmu the best player on this list? Probably not. You would say Caruso is probably still better than him at this day and age. You would say Goran Dragic brings that more experience. You would even say Kobe White brings more offense than Ayo Dosunmu. However, we saw last season massive improvements from Ayo Dosunmu at the point guard position. And in my opinion, he was the best person to put in a pick and roll and find guys like Nikola Vucevic and find guys like Tony Bradley, find guys like hopefully Andre Drummond as well. He seems to be that guy that really knows how to get the big man involved in pick and rolls, which is very important for the big men who I think need to be involved in the games for the most part. Ayo also brings very good defense as well, but you're going to bring the world of confidence if you put Ayo Dosunmu in the starting lineup. It's as simple as that. From a guy that was trusted most of the season to start, from point guard to shooting guard, earned his minutes every step of the way, to really give him the reins at the point guard position early on in the season, knowing Lonzo Ball will come back ahead. Eventually he'll come back for the Chicago Bulls, and knowing that he doesn't necessarily have to finish the games Ayo Dosunmu, I think that would be very, very good for us, in all honesty. I think it gives him confidence, believing that he can start for this team, even as stacked as it potentially is at the guard position. That will give him the world of confidence. He doesn't have to finish the games, because you see guys like Caruso finishing the games. You can also see Goran Dragic still get his 25 minutes per game as well. You can get all of that if you start Ayo Dosunmu, in my opinion. So I think that's the perfect solution in my eyes. It might not be the best player available at the point guard position. Maybe you just go straight for Caruso and you continue from there, but then you do lose that defensive spark and energizer off the bench as well. And I think Ayo would be really, really good as a starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls, just until Lonzo Ball comes back. As soon as Lonzo Ball comes back, as much as we love Ayo, Lonzo is on a different level at the moment, and even though he's constantly injured at the moment as well, when he does come back, he is the better player, and that position is Lonzo Ball's. It's not going to go away when he comes back. But for the meantime, if he is unable to play the start of the season, then I think Ayo can do the world of good and the world of confidence to continue to grow and gain more confidence as the starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls. And I don't think anyone has the argument saying he didn't deserve it as well. He played his heart out for the Chicago Bulls last year, and he got better every single time. There's no one with a better attitude, in my opinion, that I would want, and I completely trust him as well to really shine through for the Chicago Bulls starting for this team as well. He may not get the most minutes, but I think he'll do him the world of confidence. That's my pick. Let me know in the comments below who you think should be starting for the Chicago Bulls. I'll also do a poll as well on the community post for this channel. So stay tuned for that. You can have your own vote and your reasons why in that as well. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful and safe day, Bulls Nation. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.